live.
Welcome to the SBR NHL Play of the Day video. It's the NHL Double Play presented by SportsbookReview.com. I'm Ian Cameron, joined by Adam Booth. And yeah, we have not changed personalities or bodies or anything like that. I know it says what it says on the screen right now, but this is Ian and that is Adam over there as we're ready to break down the SBR NHL Play of the Day for this Thursday, November the 7th. Hard to believe we're a month into the NHL season. It just seems to fly through at a rapid rate. No difference so far this year. Adam, how are you this morning?
I'm good. Other than sort of learning the StreamYard setup and messing it up on my first try, I think we're pretty good here, and we will sort of fiddle with it before Saturday, so at least the names are right. But if you've been tuning in, I think everybody knows Ian's Ian, Adam's Adam, and I'm sure it's not going to be too complicated to prevent anybody from understanding the picks today.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of the picks, we are ready to dive into them for this Thursday card. 11 games, so a lot to choose from. That's why we do the show 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We know those are always going to be the busiest slates each week when it comes to NHL, and a lot to choose from. And Adam, you've gone to a team that no hotter team right now in the NHL than the team you're backing tonight as they take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Explain what you like in the Islanders tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is a textbook example of sort of the what the market expects from a team on paper. I have been an advocate for betting the Penguins. While Malkin was out, I thought they were playing good hockey. I thought they were playing good, responsible defensive hockey. I was on them a number of times, and if they were at a better price today, I might consider them. But we have the Penguins against the hottest team in the NHL. Their numbers are not fluky. They're consistent. They're playing the best defensive hockey, in my opinion. They are getting good, not anything incredible, but good offensive contribution. They have the better power play to the Penguins. They have the better penalty kill. Oh, no, sorry. They're 1 percentage below it. They have the better save percentage. They have a 93 save percentage between their two goalies. And for some reason, they're at home. They're rested. And for some reason, we have them at a pick-em price against the Penguins. And it's just classic. What do people expect from the two-time Stanley Cup winning Penguins with the All-Stars and, the name recognition? Pittsburgh's playing well, but they should be an underdog here. And I mean, I'm not overly surprised to see that the market has reacted this way. We saw it in all the games last year during the regular season. And we also saw it in the playoffs with, I think the Islanders were plus 160 before the series started, but I think they were an underdog in all 4 games that they swept Pittsburgh. Everybody was expecting Penguins are going to win at some point. And the Islanders are just not a flashy team. They lost their big star, Tavares, 2 seasons ago. And we saw Lehner, who was pretty much a no-name goalie coming into last season. He was a stud. He left for Chicago. Everyone's expecting Varlamov to sort of continue to post very mediocre numbers. It's not happening. Greiss is playing well as well. So where is the weakness on the Islanders? They can be beat. They were 1-3 to start the season, and they've won 10 straight. Why is the market putting the Penguins at an even price on the road against New York? It's just with that expectation that Pittsburgh's going to end the streak. There's nothing in the numbers to suggest the values on Pittsburgh tonight. So for me, there was no doubt about it. This was a straightforward play. You can call it a value play. You can call it whatever you want, but it's the hottest team in the NHL at one of the best prices on the board today for home teams. And so there's just, I can't go against it even if I wanted to. I like Pittsburgh. It's nothing to say Pittsburgh can't win. As I said in the article, it's a revenge spot. They probably had this circled. but we're going to see the Islanders play Pittsburgh 3 times in the next 2 weeks. If the Islanders lose tonight, you know they're going to be undervalued in the next one. So just make notes tonight. If you don't want to get involved, if you think Pittsburgh could end it and you can't pick a side, make notes, see how they match up against each other. I think it was mentioned Letang is out. Is that right? Did you see that as well, Ian?
Letang and Hornquist are both the guys that may not suit up tonight for Pittsburgh. Yep.
So Letang is a big deal. He's been the anchor for their power play. I mean, it's not like they lack offensive weapons with Letang out, but he's a great puck-moving defenseman. He has good vision, and he's their big-minute guy. Schultz has played well in his as a replacement for Letang over the past few years, but he's not the same. He doesn't have the same puck control talent, and so that is a big loss, and it's a bigger loss than anything I see on the Islanders side. So. That's my play, Ian. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it sounds like Adam has gone to the Ian Cameron philosophy of handicapping with this play, to be honest with you. Ride the hot, fade the cold. I mean, that's something I'm always doing in every sport. When there's a team that's on this kind of win streak, now we're talking a 10-game win streak for the New York Islanders, to me it's a waste of time and oftentimes a waste of money as well. Pounding my head against the wall saying, okay, this is the spot they lose. I don't like doing that. I don't like capping that way when a team's on a roll. And when they start to get on a streak like this, a team in any sport, doesn't matter, hockey, football, basketball, whatever. When a team gets on baseball, this kind of run, you have a little bit extra pep in your step every time you wake up and get ready to play a game. You've got confidence every time you take to the ice. You have confidence. You have that cohesion. You're all feeling good. You feel, you're playing at a really high level and you can't be beaten. And that's a confidence level that, I don't like stepping in front of that. When teams have that going for them, they're in that zone, they're in that groove. And usually when teams are on streaks at this time in baseball, 1 through 9 through the lineup, they're all producing. When it's football, everybody's getting involved. Both sides of the football playing well. When it's hockey, all 4 lines are contributing. Each pair of D are stepping up and making plays, whether it's blocking shots or keeping the puck out of their own net. They're getting the goaltending as well. All the collective pieces that make a team good are working and clicking at the same time. I don't like going against that until I see evidence where that confidence is disrupted, and it's only disrupted with a loss. So when it comes to a team like the Islanders and the streak they're on right now, my philosophy with this team until they lose a game is very, very, very simple. I either back them or I leave the game alone. So I have no disagreement whatsoever looking toward the Islanders. And let's be honest, they're got a good home record again this year. I think 7-2 here at home. And that's despite the fact they're back in Brooklyn again, playing at the Barclays Center, not the loud environment that Nassau Coliseum was on the island. Yeah,
and you made a good point there just about it, you back the hot team or you pass. Again, it's not that Pittsburgh, I say this almost daily in the articles on this show. It's not that Pittsburgh can't win tonight. It's that you look at the price of the form of the Islanders and you say, if this team is the best or a top 3 team in form right now, is it really value to go against them at -105 on the Penguins? Pittsburgh's not a bad team. Most NHL teams are not bad teams. They can win on any night. But you have to evaluate the merits of the matchup for the price. It's a direct correlation. So that's why it's a no-brainer. It's not because the Islanders are going to win it without a doubt, just to be clear. So anyway, that's mine. Let's move on to your play, Ian.
All right, awesome. I'm ready. I'm
great.
Just looking at the chat. I'm looking at a bunch of things. But yeah, I'm ready to go. As you can see, the plays are on the bottom of the screen right from the beginning of the show moving forward. So you already know what I'm on. The cat's out of the bag, so to speak. Washington Capitals taking on the Florida Panthers tonight. Again, SBRodds.com. Make sure you're using SBRodds.com every day. Get the best line, best price with every wager. We have Florida here at about -115. Home favorites, the total 6.5, shaded to the over. And something that I caught on to a good week or two ago was this Washington Capitals team just scoring goals for fun. I know that's a term that our pal Alex, who does the soccer shows, loves saying that term, scoring goals for fun. That's the Washington Capitals right now. They are scoring goals. They're legitimately scoring goals for fun. This offense has been electrifying. Their power play has been absolutely unstoppable. And it's not just been one game or 2 games. It's been consistent. You look at the power play numbers. The last 10 games, scored at least a power play goal in 6 of the 10 games. You look at their numbers. They've scored 3 goals or more, the Washington Capitals. Think about this for a second. They've scored 3 goals or more in 13 straight games. And they've scored 4 goals or more in 10 of their last 12 games.
Yeah,
like that is an
remarkable.
incredible offensive efficiency. And I think at some point they're going to slow down a bit. They're going to face a defensive juggernaut that's capable, of shutting them down. Maybe finally the power play is just, things aren't clicking, passes aren't clicking. Goalie, you run into a hot goalie. Defensive play, penalty kill on the other side plays better. Eventually, the Capitals will run into a team that plays them well defensively.
Mm-hmm.
But is Florida capable of being that team? I'm not so sure. Not at all from what I've seen from this Panthers.
Yeah, especially with how Bobrovsky's looked so far this year too.
Yeah, Bobrovsky's he's got a sub 900 save percentage. That's not Sergei Bobrovsky, there's no question. But I think the bigger issue is the Columbus defense was a little bit sturdier in front of him than the Florida defense is.
I'd agree with
that. And I think that's a big issue. I think Columbus's blue line is doing a better job. Remember, Tortorella is always a guy that says pay attention to the defensive side of the puck. Not that Joel Quenneville isn't, but I just think there's a little bit more depth on the Columbus blue line than there is for the Florida blue line. Now, I know they get Mike Matheson back from injury. That's going to help the depth of this blue line for sure. But he's an average defender, in my opinion. And even if he is returning tonight, you're never going to get a guy that's been returning and out for the length of time he's been to be razor sharp, be tremendous and on his game right away in his first game back after being out weeks, especially in a sport like this. I mean, you look at anybody that's come back from injury, it's, especially on defense, it's very, very difficult for them to just integrate themselves right back into the lineup, smooth sailing, going to have a strong game right off the hop. It's very irregular that happens. There's always that little bump in the road where it takes you a game or two, once again, when you return from an injury to get back to game speed. And again, from a totals perspective, we've got trends that work in our favor here. We talked about how Washington can score goals. Florida's had trouble keeping them out. We also should point out Florida can score goals. Florida's a very good offensive team.
Yeah.
Barkov, Huberdeau, go on down the list. Barkov, Huberdeau. There's a ton of game breakers on this team. 4 lines that can all score for them, for sure, on this Panthers group. And when you look at the way they've been able to score goals lately, it's been pretty impressive from this team overall. So I think it's a situation where, 17 points for the captain. Barkov, absolutely phenomenal numbers. Florida scored, 4 goals now in back-to-back games. They beat Colorado 4-3, shut out Detroit 4-0. So their offensive form is good. They've scored a power play goal in 3 straight games. We talk about totals trends. Washington, unbelievable surge to the over, 10-1 to the over in their last 11 games. I've been on a bunch of those overs. You look at series history last year, 3 regular season meetings between the Capitals and Panthers, all of them with totals lined at 6.5, and all of them soared over that total last year between these two teams. I think more of the same tonight. So my play of the day hopefully gets us back to the 500 mark. Washington, Florida over 6.5, minus 123.
Yeah, no, I like that one. A buddy of mine on Twitter, Mr. Puckline, he's on that today, and I was saying I'm not on any totals today. Nothing caught my eye enough, but that was one of the 2 that I most liked if I had played it. So it feels like one of those games where, similar to the way the Avs played the Panthers in Florida, sort of. The first period, either team could come out with a 3-1 scoreline kind of thing. And no, I like it a lot, Ian. So best of luck on that one today.
All right, good stuff, Adam. Great show as always. So there we go. Just to recap before we sign off, Adam looking to extend his record. He's 9-4 plus 4.82 units with the play of the day recommendations on these videos. This season, he's on the New York Islanders, minus 105 against Pittsburgh. And me, trying to get back to 500, 6-7, down 0.98 units. We'll look to get back to 500 with Washington, Florida, over 6.5, minus 123. That's your NHL double play for Thursday, November 7th, the NHL Play of the Day video presented by sportsbookreview.com. For Adam Booth, I'm Ian Cameron. Enjoy your Thursday. Good luck with all your wagers. We'll see you again Saturday for our next edition of the SBR NHL double play.